Good morning, grade 6. Welcome back, and today we are continuing our watercolor explorations. So last week you were thinking about line shapes, colors, patterns, textures to create a non-representational abstract painting using watercolor techniques. And you were focused on either a warm color scheme or a cool color scheme. So your objective was to finish painting using the whole paper in the color scheme that you chose. Here I've chosen the cool colors of blue, greens, and purples. So you're going to flip your paper today to the back, and you're going to be adding a new composition to the back side using the opposite color scheme. So if you were like me and you did cool today, you're going to be doing warm. And if you did warm color last week, you're going to be doing cool colors today. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to review quickly. Remember, you're choosing the colors, and your objective is to practice the techniques that we've been learning about. So what can you do with your watercolor? What can you make it do as a paint to communicate about lines, shapes, patterns, and colors? So warm color, and I'm just going to get myself warmed up with a nice strong mark. So lines, types of lines that I can make with my watercolor paint and my brush. So I've got a nice long straight line. I'm going to add in a sort of thick line, and I'm thinking with my thick line about how I can place the brush so that the ferrule of the brush does not touch the paper. What is the thinnest line that I can make? I'm doing some repetition, repeating lines to create the pattern, the unity, and the rhythm in my painting. I'm going to come in and do some shapes. Any shape you like. It can be organic, it can be geometric. So remember, geometric is our circles. So here we have a circle. Geometric is also squares, triangles, blah, blah, blah. And then we have the organic shapes, right? Shapes that are either non-named or abstract. Flower shape, heart shape. This is almost a star shape. Outline and fill in, right? We can do outline and fill in where we draw the line, fill it in. I can draw the line, and if there's enough paint on it, dip it in the water, reactivate, and it will fill in, right? I'm going to mix and blend a little bit, and then I'm going to use that new color I made to do some dots. Dots is a technique, so what can you do with different kinds of dots? See if I've got any pink left on here. Not a lot. I'm just going to put that on half of that one and half of that one. Now, when I take this and I use what's left on my brush, I end up with some dry brush. And resist the urge the urge to scrub, okay? Dry brush should not be about scrubbing. So I'm going to put some lines in between the dry brush. All right. Dry brush should look a little unfinished. We have the bubble wrap or plastic wrap that you can paint. You can also put your bubble wrap down on wet paint. So that's still a little bit wet there. If I press down, and I'm going to leave it there until it's dry. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of wax resist, pressing really hard. And then I want to wipe my crayon crumbs off. And I'm going to do a bit of mix and blend with this because I'd like to play with red violet. Red violet is going to be on the edge of warm and cool, right? Because it's technically red, but it's also purple. So I'm going to make it more red than purple to be a red violet instead of being the violet. So I don't need much purple, just enough to blend and mix. It's kind of a fun color. And I'm going to do some squiggle lines in here, squiggling lines. Okay. I like that dry brush feel on the rest of that, so I'm just going to let the brush carefully be dried out. Oops, I moved that. Oh, well, I have a little bit of a texture there, so I'm going to take it off. All right, so your objective is to finish this side of the painting. You're going to attach it to the assignment. When you're finished, please take care of your brush. Kindly, gently press down on the paper towel and store it safely. I'm looking for a photograph of this to be attached to today's week 10 assignment. Next week, we will go ahead and create, here is the example. We talked about this last week, right? Here is our magic book that we're going to use our painting to create. So this is the back and this is the front. When I close the book and open, here's the front and back and front, back, front. There's the page, turn the page, back, front. It's magic. So that will happen next class. So have your paintings finished and ready to go so that we can turn them into your own magic book. Have a great time exploring your watercolors. Be creative with your patterns, with your shapes, with how you mix and blend, and focus on just playing lines, textures, patterns, shapes. Let them dance, let them play a game, let them be your favorite kind of music. All right? Have a great time, and I look forward to seeing your work.